Let's keep on the hype, keep the hype rolling. We'll actually go over to the hype-ometer, the cheerometer, to see how hyped you guys got yesterday with the cheers in the chat. We'll go over to that in a little bit. For now, let's go into our first game of this best of 5. It is to the bottom right. The yellow Zerg player from Tree Sports is going to be Elazer. And to the upper left-hand side, the red Terran player, currently teamless still, is going to be Beastyqt. Don't count this guy out. I mean, Elazer is at the top of the European scene right now, but Beasty really has had a great year. I mean, sometimes disappointing, but he's been very close to qualifying for events, and sometimes he just feels so unlucky, and he keeps getting to like 2 games up and then falling away, like he did against Reno in the qualifiers even. He was 2-0 up, and then he fell away, lost 3 maps in a row, still qualified in the 3rd place match. But just little things like that, they sort of added on up. Anyways, so yeah, this is our first game. Frozen Temple, and Beastyqt does love his free rack super play, and so no surprise at all for him to pick this map first, and then to start adding on the barracks, the extra barracks to go up into free rack super nice and early on in this series. So again, this setup, guys, and ready to go. And again, let me know what's up today, guys. Let me know who you're cheering on in this group. Let me know if you think Alive is going to just go through in first place without dropping a map. Let me know if you think either of these guys are contesting. If there's either of these guys in particular you'd like to see play Alive in that winners match as well. Let me know what you guys are feeling. Let me know what you guys are thinking. And don't forget, you can let me know in the Twitch chat. You can tweet at me at WardiXO, hashtag WardiOpen as well on Twitter. Let me know what's up. Let me know what you're thinking. I just want to hear from you guys, so let it be known. Speak your minds. Spread the word that the Wardi Open is live and that we are going to be going into this second match of the day right now with Beastyqt Elazer, and that we have more best of 5s coming as well. And again, this is the thing about best of 5 groups. Like, if this were best of 3 groups, we'd probably be through 2 series already, and we'd already be in, like, you know, the 3rd match of the day, which is going to be over halfway through the day. It'd be crazy, right? So best of 5 matches means we get nice long evenings of games. Not long, you know, just 4 or 5 hours of matches. But that's a decent length stream rather than going live. It's like a Lathan Cup, you know. Lathan Cup groups are like 6 best of 3s. It's like 6 best of 3s and you're just done in like 2.5 to 3 hours. It just doesn't feel like a proper stream half the time. So really glad to be able to have my own event where I can just be like, haha, we're going to do best of 5 groups. All you players, you better be just happy with this, I guess. And of course, if you're enjoying the show, guys, just before this free Rex Real Play starts, don't forget that follow button is your best friend. We're on 11,350 followers right now, which is an insane amount, considering we only on like 11,000 a few days ago. So let's keep pushing that up too. Let's push everything up. Let's have a hype month. September is going to be awesome as this free Rex Real Play kicks off here from Beastyqt. Gonna start just working his way through Queen here. Zergling's taking a little bit of damage as well. In fact, that's not a lie. The Zerglings didn't take damage when I was saying it. Ooh, actually, Elazer comes in. He actually has a much faster speed than usual, so sorry, I missed this. This is actually Elazer who opened with a pool first. I was so carried away talking about other things, I didn't mention maybe one of the most important things about the game. Pool first with an early gas opening out of Elazer means he does have that faster link speed. He does catch those Reapers a little bit off guard, and Beasty, well, he was not expecting that at all here. So, caught a little bit off guard, our Terran player, and did lose a couple of Reapers because of it. Has to just tighten up a little bit right now. Doesn't want to let that become a continuous thing which is happening throughout this series. As you're going to see, the Reaper's just going to pop back up and just going to keep on moving around. A few more Reapers dropping down, joining up together. He's still in Reaper production, so still making more of these as he goes into a 3rd command center as well. Behind all of this, Elazer sets up the Roach Horn, so he's going to start Roach production. I mean, it's at the stage now, actually, where the initial kind of phase of kind of the Zergling kind of hitting speed early kind of wears off, and the Reapers can actually engage into them quite easily because of the grenades. As long as you're, as long as you're comfortable kind of dropping good grenades, which Beastyqt should be. He plays this build order quite frequently, so he should be very good at this. So he comes in, he's going to try initially here just to get rid of this 3rd hatchery. I mean, again, I always say this, it's one of my favorite things to point out when we're casting in 3x Reaper play. What you generally want to do as a Terran is, more than anything, keep the Zerg from hitting that free base. Because if you can keep him away from that, it limits his production. Now, if he has less production, he'll have a little bit of a struggle to kind of keep on going in the game. And also, he gets up to a point where he can't drone up any further. And so he just sort of halts his economy for a little while you yourself are up to 3 command centers and just going into anything you want. And we do now see Beastyqt going into a couple of reactors. His tech lab is down as well. And these couple of Marines are just currently working their way through this Overlord. So Overlord is just going to be going down over here. And wherever the Reapers gotten to, they've pulled all the way back, so just playing it safe. They're going to go out onto the map once again right now. So Reaper's going to head out once again, look to see what they can get up to. They're actually going to start off of the left-hand side as they pop on up. I'm just going to keep on heading on down. Are they going to try and take down those rocks? I don't think they will. If they're anything, they'll just flip around one direction or the other, and come in here. There's Ravagers now, which have that extra little bit of range, which helps a lot when fighting the Reapers. And we'll see if BC wants to fight into these at all. Ravager does take a little bit of damage there initially, but BC not going to commit. I think he loves his Reaper count too much here to really take a fight and just completely trade it out right now. In fact, that's probably what the Zerg player would want to do. Because if the Reapers aren't on the map, it's something he doesn't have to worry about any longer. He has to, he doesn't have to worry about that, those fights any longer. He doesn't have to worry about these trades and just always being in position and always ready to shut the Reapers down whenever anything starts to happen. Third Command Center will lift and start to move into position here. So Third Command Center going to be dropping down in just a few. +1 melee upgrades are currently on the way from Elazer, so those are starting to come up here. As we see, the Reapers actually going to pull back themselves once again. So Reapers pulling back, a couple of engineering bays coming down from Beastyqt. And we're just going to be seeing that stim pack is going to be finishing for him very shortly as well as he goes into, just what will be a kind of a bio push follow-up with his first couple of medevacs, his first set of Marines. He'll probably just move across and with the Reapers too, and then he can back away with the Reapers, he can pick up with the medevacs if things get a little bit dicey. But he should, for the most part, be sort of okay to trade anyways, I think. As long as he doesn't sort of run into the center of group spread and then be like, oh crap. I think he should, for the most part, be alright. Anyways, these Roaches, Ravagers join up together, a couple of Queens nearby as well. We see these few Zerglings going to try and come around the top side, and they are going to be continuing to take a little bit more damage. They're going to run over towards the natural expansion, the wall off over here, so they run in. They're just seeing if they can find any opportunities, but he sees that there isn't any, so just back in the way, and we do see actually Elazer starting again to position with these units down to the bottom left side. Starting again in position to see what else he can do. A few Zerglings running and get taken down pretty quickly there. And the rest of these units are just going to collect back up together towards the third hatchery. So collecting back up together, Reapers from Beastyqt are going to come over to the right-hand side here too. And they're just going to keep on moving around. They're going to be coming in towards this creep tumor. And probably just keep on cleaning that out as well. Maybe even scan here, or, well, really good placement. He knows how far out that creep is. Really good kind of knowledge of the radius of the creep there as we see him moving forwards. He wants that creep tumor more than anything before he lifts up, but he's not going to get it. So just a lift and a leave. Good deflect by Elazer. And as BC, I'll just pull him back. It's interesting, isn't it? Again, we're seeing melee upgrades out of a Zerg player. And I say again just because, not necessarily today, but just over the past week or two, we've seen so many melee upgrade build orders. And so many players are moving away from even Ling Ravager playstyles and just playing sort of Ling Baneling. It's really, really interesting to see again another metagame shift in the Terran versus Zerg matchup, where we really are just going to be seeing here so many players just able to kind of, just so many players just moving into Ling Bane and skipping out on, sometimes they play meters, sometimes they just skip meters, but in general just skipping out on, Roaches, Ravagers, and that sort of stuff. It's interesting the way the meta keeps switching. It's happening in all the matchups. It's actually one of the things I love about Legacy of the Void up until now. We've never really seen a stale metagame kind of established, and it's sort of this thing as well where even nowadays we saw for a little while the kind of the TVZ was maybe getting a little bit stale with the same kind of 2-1-1 push coming in every time from Beastyqt, not Beastyqt, but from Terran players in TVZ, that fast stim drop attack. But even in some regards with that, I mean, that's even changed to have different follow-ups so many times. As we're going to be seeing those Marines simming on forwards here, cleaning out a few creep tumors, and just keeping on pushing this back. As we're going to be seeing a few Banelings coming forwards here. Nice grenades! I mean, that's the benefit of keeping your Reapers alive from early in this, as we're going to see BC pulling back here, kiting away from this army as it pushes on through. We still see this tank very well positioned, actually, that siege tank. And BC, as he realizes that this engagement is not going to be super great for him anymore, just pulls away, deals with this harassment over here as well, as long as he doesn't let those Banelings go off. They do connect, but not too, not too horrifically from Beastyqt's perspective. So Beasty's still trading well. However, Hive is on the way up. 2-2 is about to finish as well. So Elazer for the next few minutes of the game will have a bit of a better time where he's going to find himself with an upgrade lead. Both his upgrades are going to be at an advantage there. So he's going to have an upgrade lead, and he's also going to have the factor here where he's going to be just sort of into Hive Tech. He's getting to that stage of the game as Zergs love to initially get to, where they first get the Ultras out and more. We're just going to be pulling down the left-hand side here. We see a couple of Liberators are just going to sit off over to the right. We see an extra expansion coming down from Elazer, continue to expand, and well, that's one thing you can definitely do quite nicely here on Frozen Temple. It's not super easy to keep on expanding, but it's a good mixture of ease of expansion and also defensive expansion too. It's a good mix of those. You're going to see these Marines loading up into that medevac, gonna back away up the left-hand side. A couple of Liberators will siege up in the natural. And we'll deny some mining time as the Liberators come into position, and, well, Spore will come in and force these Liberators to unsiege, but I'm just going to split them up and just going to keep on being annoying with these. I mean, the more annoying you are, the more damage you get done. Even lost mining time can be painful. This Queen going to get pulled away in time, and so it will just be a few more drone kills here. In the main base, it's a similar story as we see a Medevac drop, not getting too much creep killed. The Zerglings is very quick to respond as the first Ultra's coming onto the map right now, so we are setting up into this. This is the stage of the game where Beasty has to decide, does he push right now? Does he just continue to sit back and just play the late game? He is adding on a Ghost Academy, so it does look as though he might just play the defensive sort of way to kind of, you know, the defensive kind of format of the late games TVZ, where he's not really going to try and punish an attack before the Ultras come out. He's just going to sit and wait and just prepare for when the Ultras are out and in higher numbers, so he's going to set up for that. A couple of Ravagers and Zerglings going to come on in here and he's going to start working their way down through these rocks, so rocks starting to take a little bit of damage. As to the left-hand side, we do see Marines, tanks, Marauders, and Medevacs all pushing down. So he is going to attack to some extent here. I mean, he has got some time before Kindness play, and his 2-2 is just finishing as well. So actually, maybe the better timing to attack is right now, and obviously Beasty knows that, and that's why he is attacking now, I'm sure. He's got so many tanks in this. It's kind of interesting to see how well they're going to do here, pushing forwards. Drop to the right side, get shut down. Beasty doesn't lift that up in time. He does spot these units ready to counterattack, though. I'm sure he'll pull this tank into position. There's already a bunker here behind the wall to help out. As Beasty continues to push into location, Kindness plane will be finishing. How many Ultras do we have, though? 4 and 2 more? Is it going to matter against so many tanks? I mean, usually we don't see this many siege tanks at this stage of the game. It's sort of ridiculous how many tanks there is. I mean, there's like 10 or something. It's really crazy. Zergling's going to start streaming in. A few tanks to the top side will start to fall, and the Ultras, they do manage to close the gap very quickly there. And we're just going to be seeing the old tanks actually going to get caught off there to the side, and there's actually nowhere for them to really to go, so BC has to lift up. He'll go and drop around. He'll abuse the lack of mobility of those Ultras, the fact that they do just have to walk around rather than Medevacs, which of course can fly. A couple of Marines going to unload over here, and of course a few units in a position, and of course Elazer already recognizing that BC is probably going to head towards the main, so pulling his Zerglings into position over here as well. But I mean, still, maybe an Overlord goes down, for example. Zerglings are keen to keep running forwards too. Marines clumping up together, and Ultra just swipe a couple of times. Doesn't really get any kills, though, as another attack in towards this bunker in the right-hand side here. Not going to get too much done, although a Ghost going down would be expensive, and he does lose that straight away. Wouldn't mind going off to help clean out, and he will still clean this out actually very nicely. He might lose the bunker. He'll try and salvage it, and he'll get the salvage. Every 75 minerals helps. He'll shut down this last Ravager as well, so counterattacks by Elazer aren't actually really getting much done at all, really. You're going to be seeing the few units unloading over here. Beasty set up onto a 4th base as well already, so actually this is his 5th base now coming up, and we really are getting into the later stages of this game. The TVZ, we are going well and truly into late game. In game number 1, Ghosts, Liberators on the way up from Beasty. From Elazer, well, he's just continuing to move around with Lings and Ultras and a few Corruptors. Marines and Marauders working their way through a couple of drones there. A couple of Zerglings going to go down too. More units continuing to run on in as the Zerglings come in, and they just chase that Medevac away. A few more Marines will stim in over the left-hand side, and they're going to pick off a Queen there initially. Oh, nice transfuse. They'll actually keep it alive a little bit longer, but still, an Overlord goes down, a couple of drones. And Beatsy just harassing while he continues to set up into higher Liberator numbers, into more Ghosts, just getting into that later stage of the game, where he's really going to be set and ready to kind of keep on fighting. We're going to see the SCVs being pulled on in. We are going to just see that Planetary Fortress just being under attack. Is he going to be able to repair this up in time? The rest of his army's coming in. He might lose this base as the snipes start to come down. A few going off, but actually a lot getting cancelled by the fact that the Zerglings are doing damage to these Ghosts. And of course, damage does cancel the snipes. See a few more Ultras keep on pushing forwards. BC needs just a few more moments here, I think, more than anything. Just sort of gather together. A few Zerglings streaming in. They get picked off rather easily. I mean, it's not a lot left over from Elazer at all, and the supplies are still staying very, very even in this game. 23 workers lost from Beastyqt, but I mean, things are still looking up for him. He's got his next set of upgrades finishing here. He's got more Ghosts on the way out. He can rebuild those workers fairly quickly. He just needs to build another command center to retake this location in the near future. He actually mined from this location for a good amount of time before it got killed off, so definitely paid for itself. I mean, we talk about some of these minerals. 650, 600 minerals left. So yeah, he definitely got value out of that base before it went down. He's just going to be seeing these drop to the right-hand side. He's actually going to look to repay the favor. Probably not going to pick it off. Gets it about 2/3 the health. As you see, BC is actually still pushing in here. This is a little bit riskier from him. I mean, he has to be cautious. Is this army going to be enough for me? There's actually a lot of Corruptors, and there's no Liberators from BC, which is something we don't oftentimes see. We oftentimes see a lot of Liberators. But I guess that's the idea. He's saying, well, actually, if there's so many Corruptors out, maybe Liberators aren't the best of choices. At the same time, maybe they still are, you know. Liberators are still very good, and, you know, sometimes you just get the Ghost to snipe down the Cruxes instead to protect those. It's sort of a balance as to what you try and do. As we see some Banes starting to roll for us, but they don't connect just yet. And we're actually going to be seeing the Ultras taking damage once again. He has to be careful. Some of them Ultras on very low health, and he does not want to just keep on losing those to snipes, so he does have to just be a little bit careful with those. Scan to the left-hand side. I'm going to see Liberator sieging up this base again. Good harassment throughout the game by Beasty. I mean, he really has been on top, you know, with either drops or Liberators around the map. He's never given Elazer kind of more than a couple of minutes at a time where he hasn't got to think about drops or action on the map. He's always just got to be thinking about what is going on around here, so... It's going to be seeing these Marines and Marauders just going to be pushing forwards. We're going to be seeing that Ultra is starting to take a little bit of damage there as well. So finds that, which was kind of drop defense for this base to the top right-hand side a few moments ago. It's a good start for Beasty, picking up a 6 supply unit, basically for free. As we're going to be seeing units collecting together. We're going to see that battery to the right side does go down. Brutally is going to be moving forwards, just looking to push this back. And, oh my god, Widowmine gets a good first shot. The Widowmine just one Zergling there, and they will get cleaned up. And again, some nice little kind of introduction to this engagement is, here you go. I mean, snipes are going to be so important here already. One Ultra goes down. Obviously, those Balins are going to be very, very important in terms of turning those ghosts away, forcing them to split up, and just trying to stop them from doing quite as much damage. Balins collecting together right now, coming actually all the way back down to the bottom right-hand side. As we see these bio units joining together, Beasty will come over to the right here and continue to see what he can get up to. Big stim forwards out of Beasty as he moves in this direction. I'm just going to be seeing the Sporkroller. He is going to get taken down as well. So Sporkroller will get taken down. I'm just going to be seeing the hatchery also go into full. A few Zerglings around the right-hand side is going to be coming in from Elazer. They're going to be actually coming up through the center here. What can they get up to? Zerglings continue to run on in. We're just going to be seeing, well, Beasty starts to take this fight. Goes trade very well against the Zerglings as well. And look at that. 6 snipes over 2 Ultralisks. Both fall almost instantly. As Beasty here just continues to trade. I mean, let's look at the resources lost. It's only a 2.5k difference, so it's not actually that big. And I guess Elazer, well, I mean, he mined from this base for a little while. I don't think he mined from it, no, not as long as Beasty mined from this one to the left. So this is looking to go in Beasty's favor right here. Moving another base into position on another location as well. So that's going to be fairly fresh. A couple of Liberators looking to harass again. And that's what I love about Beasty's playing this game so far. Time after time, he's always got something different. Ready to come in, ready to attack. And okay, this time it doesn't work out. But in these later stages of the game, you know, a couple of Liberators going down, it's not great. But it's not game ending. So it's, you know, it's not, you know, after all of this successful harassment, you have to expect him to get shut down at some point. And that is one of those times. But I love he's still trying, he's still looking for openings. Now, we do see a few Broodlords morphing in. I mean, the Corruptors have actually had very limited use because of the lack of Liberators, really, in the game. They've cleaned up a couple here and there, which are just harassing. But, man, he really is just sort of, well, you know, he's been, you know, fairly Liberator-less, so morphing into Broodlords is definitely a good idea, because they're definitely going to help out more. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit less mobile than before, as, ooh, Widowmine still connected there on a good chunk of Zerglings. It's going to be seeing the, Going to be seeing the snipe starting to come down. So here we go. Engagement starts to begin. Widowmine's going to start going off. The Balins, there's not many of them left over as this fight really gets going. There's what, like 6 or 7? That's really not a lot, although Beasty still has to keep on running away. Those ghosts are sprinting. Liberator going to siege up here, and he just needs to get far enough back, clean up a few more of the Banes. Once the Banes are gone, I think he'll feel more comfortable to turn and snipe. And that's exactly the case. He just didn't want those Banes to run into all of his ghosts and just take down so many of them. And we're going to see the Ultra covered in. Is just going to attack a little bit there, clean out depot. So the top right base is unspotted right now, I think, from Elazer. Okay, he knows about it, just doesn't have his units in position to do something about it. I mean, now he actually has these Broodlords that are very, you know, very immobile, and even though you can kind of cut across through the center to very quickly swap sides, they're still slow moving. It's still not going to happen super fast. And I think one of the main things is Beasty's pressure down the left side again and again is just forcing Elazer to actually stay on this side of the map too, so he doesn't really get a chance to send enough units towards this planetary fortress. Moving forwards now, Beasty has plenty of snipes available. I wonder if what Elazer is really missing here is just a couple of infestors to add into this army. I wonder. We're going to be seeing these couple of medevacs just going to be coming in overhead. So a couple of medevacs just going to come in overhead. We'll be healing up again very soon. Cloaking is going to be coming up for the ghost, of course, shortly. Personal cloaking, not far away. That'll just help out a little bit, keep the ghosts alive a little longer. I wonder if Elazer just doesn't feel he can afford to go into Infestors, but, you know, maybe the Infestors would have been a better choice than 2 of these Broodlords or so. You know, get some Broodlords out, but not necessarily loads. Bioforce is still moving around the left-hand side, a little bit of a Bioforce over to the right-hand side as well. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of Broodlords. Just firing away those Broodlings down into those Wither Mines. You see, to the right-hand side. I like this, a bit of a bigger drop now, and we've kind of just seen kind of 8 Marine drops up until here, but just a little bit more committed and just looking to see what exactly he can get up to. As we're going to be seeing them moving on in, we're going to be seeing a couple of Overlords going to be going down here. This Sport Crawler going to get cleaned up, and again, let's just keep on attacking. Marines, Marauders, seeing what they can do. I'm just going to be seeing everything getting cleaned out right now. So everything getting cleaned out, and we're just going to be seeing the units collecting over to the left-hand side. Elazer seeing what he can get up to. Planetary Fortress will come on into the left as well, so setting up onto this. I'm just going to be seeing Broodlords in the sky. I mean, Beasty is setting up this base over here, so he wants to mine, and it's a great aggressive position, because from here he can slowly push into that Zerg army, and generally he is the more efficient player with those snipes available, so, you know, a couple snipes here, a couple snipes there, generally go in the Terran's favor, so that's what he's going to be able to start doing right now, and he sees that. I can't believe there's still no Infestors at this point in the game. I mean, Elazer's had so many chances to add these on, I wonder if he just really doesn't see any value in them, or, you know, or what his reasoning is. A couple of snipes coming down, not killing much just yet. Overseers in the skies. If you could snipe the Overseers, that'd actually be huge, because if the Overseers going down, then all of a sudden what we see is that without Overseers, there is a lot of potential just instead to kind of, well, keep on coming in with Cloak Ghosts. So, possibility is you're actually going to see Elazer committing forwards a little bit there. A lot of the Ghosts in the back, so didn't actually have as many snipes as he wanted to, maybe to keep working through all those Ultralisks. You just see those units continue to sit back. Zergling's up the right with an Ultra and a few Banes getting ready to hit this Planetary Fortress. That could be a little bit deadly. Beasty just spot this. I actually like this one Medevac patrolling to the right. Some of which just can't be cleaned up, so it's going to be consistent sort of vision on this right hand side. Unless the Corruptors come over, I guess, but isn't even Corruptors up anymore. I think you put all of them into Broodlords, which might be a bit of an issue, because guess what? There's some Vikings right now. Without anti-air, Elazer is going to start losing some of these. So right now it's been good transfusions to keep them alive, but he has to go, I think. I think he just realizes that he's just going to be in a lot of trouble if he doesn't go start to pull back here. BC will turn and he'll start to snipe now, and these Ultras are just going to disappear. This base will go down, sure, but those Vikings actually going to get taken down. So the Vikings will go down, but now the Ghosts move forwards, and it's just going to be a few extra snipes coming down. The Broodlords will start to disappear. The Bio on the ground is way too much, and Beastyqt, after 23 minutes, is looking to take game number 1 of this best of 5 series. And that is GG from Elazer. Beastyqt takes the first game, game number 2 of this best of 5, as we have to the bottom left. Our yellow Zerg player from True Esports. Let's hear it if you're cheering on Elazer. He's down 1 game. Gettysburg's actually another map where we're maybe expecting to see this go a little bit longer. Take a little bit longer to get into, you know, go into this kind of the longer game in general. So this is interesting that obviously this kind of map pool was kind of predetermined before the first game. But it's interesting now that BC goes into a second map here, 1 game up, where he's, you know, he looked very good in the first game. So it's really going to be up to right now Elazer, I think, to change things up in this. He's going to be the player who has to do something, whereas Beasty, Red Terran to the bottom right, is going to have to be, you know, is going to be very confident, I feel, going into this map, which really promotes the playstyle he looked so good at in game number 1. Of course, he won't get to open with the 3-axe Reaper, so maybe Elazer gets off to a better start, or something along those lines. Let's see what happens, guys, as we do see Overlord just going to be moving onto the map. And of course, hello to everyone who's joining us here for the stream today in the Wardi Open. I'm very glad for you to join us for our first round of 16 group. Really glad to have you all with us. Really, really looking forward to the day. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Already 1.1k viewers, which is sick. I'm just going to keep on bringing you guys games all evening long. This is our second series. We have 3 more best of 5s after this best of 5. So we really are still just getting warmed up today. So tell your friends, tell your StarCraft buddies, your clanmates, your ladder opponents, I don't know. Tell them that we are live here today with the Wardi Open round of 16 Group A. Tell them to tune in. Tell them that we're going to have some very good games throughout the day. Again, we already have a live sitting in that winners match, waiting for either Beastyqt or Elazer. After this series, we have Soke sitting in the losers match and waiting to see who he'll play against as well in a couple series time. Reaper is just going to be moving around here from Beastyqt, seeing what it can get up to. Going to be dropping a grenade down on this hatchery to the left, and again, Zergling's just having a look to see what they can get up to. So, Zergling's just seeing what they can get up to. It's a very passive opening for the most part, as Beastyqt goes open up with the double racks play. So you're heading towards the stim pack, and we'll see some aggression starting to kick up in this game at about that 5-minute marker. So a bit of a different opening from Beasty this time around. Obviously, not going to free Rex Reaper here on New Gettysburg. So let's see how he continues. Let's see if this different opening can get Beasty into that later game situation, which he plays so well in. As we're going to see these Lings looking to catch the Reaper, but coming in a bit too soon. And this Reaper actually has a little bit of fun jumping around here, but messes up a little bit. And so he will go down. Again, what's up guys in the chat, and thank you for tuning in. I said that a couple of times already, but I just want to say it again, because I do appreciate you all checking out the Wardi Open. I feel as though we've got a good few days here. There's no clashes with our events, maybe a WESG qualifier or so. But it's worked out well. It was so amazing. I actually was, so to organize the round of 16, what I basically said was, hey guys, players, here are the 4 days I want to do the round of 16 on. What days are best for you? What days can you play, and what plays can you definitely not play? And most players came back with like 1 or 2 days that were like, hey, I'd really like to play this day. And I was like, okay, see what I can do. Turns out, perfect. It worked perfectly. We managed to, with every single player, get them the day they wanted to play. And we got them to play the day they wanted to play. And it actually worked out nicely for the groups as well. You know, it actually sort of led into kind of like very balanced groups with, you know, players from each different qualifier being set into each group. It worked out really well. It's a good racial balance. It really couldn't have turned out better. Which is amazing, because last time I remember trying to organize like Summer League round of 16 like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I just remember it being just an absolute pain trying to like figure out, can you guys play this day, someone can't, and oh, it was a mess. So here's to having a good time organizing this event so far. It's been very smooth actually, a very smooth event up until now. Fingers crossed let's not jinx it. As we're going to be seeing the Viking coming in, picks off an Overlord there. And just looking to get some damage done. Interesting, he actually goes into the Viking first. And a very different build order from what I was expecting from him. Doesn't go into the reactor on the starport. So actually has a tech lab on the factory. He's building tanks. He's going to go for a very aggressive attack across the map. So it's going to hit a little bit later. It's going to be a lot stronger. So let's see how this is going to go. My last other opponent told me to F off. Well, you know what, Corvus? That's probably because he didn't tell him about the Wardi Open. If you changed his life with that piece of information, I'm sure he would have been a lot more kind and loving towards you. Maybe. Maybe not. Anyways, so Zerglings Marines moving forwards here, picking off a couple of Zerglings to begin with. So a couple of Zerglings going down there right away. And these Marines just continuing to come across the map. So Marines continue to come across over to the left-hand side. And let's just stem forwards here. And well, Marines just going to do a little bit right now. Starting to be forced back a little bit here by a couple of Lings, but it's an interesting position with these tanks in the back and just one medevac for the healing. It's intriguing because actually the kind of way to defend against this oftentimes is that kind of mass Zergling playstyle, and that's exactly what we are seeing right now out of Elazer. Lots and lots of Zerglings. But it's kind of weird because I don't know how much the tanks really help against lots and lots of Lings. It's almost as though, to some regards, they're kind of detrimental because they're just going to friendly fire the Marines as well. Well, we see this trade obviously coming in right now. He saves one of these tanks, but everything else will go down. That's the other thing as well. Beasty doesn't have as many medevacs to just evacuate with, so it's very, very interesting here that the kind of build order from Beasty is very different. It plays out very differently. I'm not sure how much I like it, but to be fair, it brings him out at a fairly even work count. His upgrades will be a little bit behind. He's got 3rd CC finished, so it brings him out in an alright spot in the end, so all is good. And Beasty will continue in this game. Thank you very much, Lib75, for the 6-month free sub as well. Appreciate it. Can get some love in the chat, please, for Lib. As you're going to see some Marines, some Zerglings, sorry, just going to run off over to the right here. And that Viking still just moving around, having a look to see what is going on. Viking has actually been very annoying up until now. 4 kills is a lot of overlords to have picked away at during the early stages of this game. You can see Elazer is now afraid. He's on 92 of a 144. He's like, no way, buddy. I'm not getting supply blocked again. I'm not letting your Viking kill off any more of my units. No way. You're going to see some Zerglings starting to come through the top side, having a little bit of a look to see what they can get up to. So some Zerglings coming across here over to the right. We'll see a few tanks lifted up into these medevacs. That Viking moving around as well from Beastyqt. I'm just going to be seeing the Armory added on as well. So Armory coming in, getting ready for 2-2 upgrades. Again, the upgrade lead for our Zerg player is one thing he really holds in his advantage. As Elazer comes in for a little bit of a run by here. How much does he commit? He'll hold position it, and he'll get 2, 3, 4 workers maybe. 3 and 4 at the very end. So 4 workers killed. Not bad. But actually, look at this. These tanks moving around the map and picking off a few Zerglings that are running around as well. And Beasty, is he still making siege tanks? He's on 5, so I guess he must be still committing into them. Again, looking for a very high siege tank count to help him out going in towards the later stages of the game with. It was very similar on Frozen Temple too. He had a lot of tanks, like 10 or 11 that he pushed across the map with on his pre-ultraless timing. Didn't really seem as though he didn't really seem to kind of do too much, but hey, in the end he still got into kind of the late games position. He got to the spot he wanted to be in, and that worked out okay for him. Some group sped just pushing forwards here, or trying to, but the tanks did a pretty decent job of shutting this down. You're going to see the tanks start to pull back a little bit, and actually they're kiting away against these queens, and trading quite well against the queens, dropping off once again, another shot or two maybe. Has to be careful, of course, doesn't want to lose those medevacs from the queen range, so has to be careful, but finds another location to drop off in, and a few more Zerglings going down here. Tanks just continue to move around with those medevacs, and continue to see what they can get up to. Spire comes down very early from Elazer this time around, a lot earlier than the last game even, I think. As we are going to be seeing the Ultraless Cavern is coming down here to the bottom left. So Ultra Cavern is on the way up. And it's going to be seeing a 5th hatchery coming in towards the northwestern side. So Elazer is going to set up his 5th hatchery. The Zergling here is going to sit on that watchtower. And, well, 5th hatchery is not going to get a chance to come up as Beasty unloads. And his tanks will take care of it. So tanks taking care of that right there. As we see the Zerglings coming forwards. And they are going to be able to push back those siege tanks. Coming in once again. And tanks, 2 of them getting lifted up, but actually one of them ends up going down, so one of them ends up dying off there, and I'm just going to be seeing Ultras Cavern continue to come on up. A couple more Liberators being made. So a couple more Liberators being made right now, and we do just see, again, those couple of tanks coming down towards the bottom right. Bunker, a couple of Deepers going to come up over here as well, as another tank coming in up on the high ground. And we are just going to be seeing this late game scenario again set to go. I mean, it's New Gettysburg. It's sort of what we expect to see. As we're going to be seeing that Nidus network coming down right now from Elazer. Set up into the Nidus network. I mean, Nidus network plays are one way you can definitely start to harass around the map. And it might become very useful here as we see a island base begin to be established from Beastyqt. So if you can mine from these island bases throughout the game, that can become very problematic very quickly for Elazer in terms of efficiency of trade. Because again, later game, the Terran army becomes a lot more efficient, so for the Zerg, it's about denying extra bases, and that's hard to do when it's an island base with 2 very narrow entranceways that are very easily defended here. So, C+2 upgrade is going to be finishing up as we see the first Nidus getting set up, but immediately 4 Liberators siege up on top of it, and Turret is actually going to get rid of the Overseer, so this Nidus is not going to do much at all. That being said, maybe it does if Zergling's going to pop out of this, what's going to be just Ultras. No, he's not going to get anything out, so he's not going to commit. Can maybe come out now, but a little bit too late. That Nidus gets taken down. Obviously, the Liberators can't actually shoot the Nidus building, but they can shoot just kind of the units that come out, so the same is going to happen here, although this time there's not going to be anything immediately to shut down the Nidus network, so we'll actually keep the, oh, Planetary Force finishes up. Well, that works out. I see some Zerglings actually going to come in. They're going to find some Marines to the top side, which is just out on their own. Not really sure what these Marines are up to. Maybe just shutting down an Overlord or something. Have a very nice little trade initially. A couple of Ultras, or 1 Ultra coming across the map. There's still a lot of Ultras just sort of caught up in those, in that Nidus network. Which aren't really doing anything at all just yet. Just sitting and waiting to harass elsewhere on the map. Going to be seeing the Lings just going to move around and just continue to see what else is going on. Corruptors continue to be added right now, and we're just going to be seeing the kind of Viking just getting a shot or 2 off onto that Overseer. 9-minute Spire is not early. Well, it is earlier than kind of, it's early when you consider he's skipping the Spire. He's not, necessarily playing kind of a Spire mid-game. So I'd say to kind of go for a late-game Spire, 9 minutes is kind of early. You can, it depends how you view it. For me, it's kind of like early because I feel as though he's playing late-game for this. And so a late-game Spire comes down when your Ultras are already coming onto the field. Then you go Spire. But if you play a mid-game Spire, it comes in a lot earlier, yes. So it's a late Spire in that regard. So it's sort of all over the place here. Guys, can anyone see like a light box on the screen? Does anyone know what the fuck that is? Can you guys see it? Like, I can see it on my X-Lib. Maybe it's just my actual screen. There's like literally like here. There's like a lighter box than anywhere else. Does anyone else see that? That's really bothering me. Oh, it's my webcam's frozen on the screen. Oh, that's a little bit weird. Just fix that. There we go. I just noticed that there next bit. That was a little bit strange. Anyways, we're setting up into this, guys, and it really is starting to go late game. It looks like Elazer is going to look to fight here in the next few moments, but, I mean, look what he's fighting into. So many ghosts, Widow Mines as well. And this Bioforce just collecting together. A couple of Medivacs going to load up here, and Zergling's trying to move forwards. A couple of them moving forwards right now, and here we go, actually. Starting to get set up, and, well, the characters come in. They'll get rid of the Liberators quickly. Snipes will come down on the Ultralisks. You know, Beastyqt is cleaning it on up to some regard. I mean, he's got more ghosts in the back, and they're going to get rid of a few more Ultras here. The Corruptors definitely did their job, though. They got rid of all the Liberators nice and quickly. And this is where adding on a few Broodlords or something could become very, very powerful. As we see those ghosts coming in and Corruptor gets sniped down. I'm just going to see those units backing away through the top side. So, units backing away through the top side there. And units just collecting together right now from Beastyqt. So, collecting together currently from Beastyqt, we see a little bit of the Zerg army collecting together in the center as well. I'm just going to be seeing Elazer. A few Broodlords on the way in. Just going to be looking for another push here. Again, I think the kind of, I think the kind of push, etc. could be very powerful with a couple of Broodlords added into this. Problem is these ghosts can trade so efficiently, so maybe it's even already the stage of the game where he does need those Banelings to start coming in. He does have Bane speed, he just doesn't have that much gas to play with. Moving in another Broodlord. Let's see how this is going to go. We're once again back to the sort of no Liberator stage of the game from Beastyqt, where he obviously looked very comfortable doing this previously. Let's see these SCVs loading up. Looks as though they're going to go and drop off on a new base. Do you not mean to pick up the SCVs? He's going to drop them down again. Looks like he's just getting ready for this fight. Defensive nuke coming into play, so Beastyqt going to start nuking on up into the sky. I'm just going to be seeing the Lings, Ultras, Banes, and more just going to get ready to come in once again. You're going to see these Zerglings try to push the front there. There's the nuke going off. Well, again, it's a lot of Ling Bane, and that's where these ghosts start to come into a little bit of trouble. When the Ling Bane comes forward, the ghosts are forced to split, and obviously, generally, the ghosts are very stationary when they're trying to snipe. Actually, right now, these Ultras initially, look how many snipes are used on those. The Ultras initially kind of staying out of range, and actually, this first little bit of an attack here is going quite well. He's bullying these ghosts away to the left side. They can't get in range to snipe. There's the poke coming down, and actually, the Overseers get sniped. So now there's no detection. However, Banelings can still crash through if they can reach their target, but they're not getting close enough just yet. An Ultra here, he's not going to be able to connect. However, now the ghosts are running out of energy, so there's nothing for them to really do other than just to kind of manually attack. They have no snipes available anymore, and so they're going to start going down. There's no healing over here either. There's a few more snipes, but it's just not enough, really. Corruptors get rid of a Liberator at the same time. Lings and Ultras are going to get rid of and actually kill the natural orbital command. As we see Elazer here just going to keep pushing forwards. This Planetary will help to hold the position. But as Elazer gets reinforcements, I don't think this army is going to stand up to much more because, again, the ghosts, they do keep on sniping here, but there's not that many snipes left available in this game. There really isn't. Ling's going to keep on streaming into. It's just this Planetary that's so hard for him to fight against. And maybe he should just go in towards the kind of high ground or this space here. I don't know, just something a little bit different. He could even kind of fly a couple of drops in over this side right now. That could go very well for Elazer. So that's something he could definitely look into doing. As we're seeing for now, though, still focused this direction. Again, that Planetary will just help him to stay alive so much longer than he maybe usually would here. And the Zerglings start to wrap around it, though. Here we go. Corruptors in the sky are also caused to sprain it. As the Planetary falls, the ghosts are fairly unprotected. We see the Corruptors get rid of a Medivac, which actually just picked some ghosts up as well. And that's going to be GG. Elazer will tie up this series anymore. Guys, let's jump in game to the top right hand side. We are going to be having our yellow Zerg player from True Esports. Let's hear it if you're going to be cheering on Elazer. Tying this series up one game apiece. As to the one left hand side, we will have our teal Terran player. Let's see if a free rack sweeper's here on a free rack sweeper friendly map. It's Beastyqt. As we set up here onto Galactic Process, let's see what's going to happen. Thank you very much, Dark Ones, for the cheer 100. Appreciate it. You guys enjoying the music in the break as well? That's good. Sometimes I'm a little bit. Sometimes when I kind of have that sort of music coming on, I don't know whether to play it or not. Today I felt like we'd go for it. We'll just take the risk and go. So yeah, today we just played it. Whoa, they just sent you a PM. Read it when you're free. Sure thing, Mr. Kunal. I will read it during the next. You know what's dumb? You can't read your Twitch messages on your phone. Like, you can't read it if you just, like, you can't read it just by, how do I say it? You can't read it just by, going on, like, the Twitch app or anything, which I feel is really dumb. Like, Why do they have an app and stuff without being able to read your Twitch messages? Unless I'm just being really dumb and you can. But I'm almost certain you can't. No, you see, you can't. You can read your PMs, but you can't read your actual Twitch messages, like, on the website. That just seems really, really stupid to me. Like, what's the point? Why would you want to stop someone from doing that? You know? That's stupid. Thank you very much, Zanfra60, for the 250 cheer. Cheer 250. Thank you very much. And Lip75, oh my god, are you guys really starting again? Lip75 for the cheer 1000 says, love you all, SGI hearts. Guys, give me some love in the chat, please. Zanfra60 said, hype, 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 with the 250 cheer. And Lip75 with the love you all. Let's see some SGI hearts in the chat, as we should go over and follow the first Reaper, as we see pull first from Elazer again. And that pull first is going to be for our Zerg player. A good way to just slow down the aggression into this. What's that? Another 1,250 cheers? I think that puts us at... We had 8,810 yesterday, plus 5,000 is 13,810. 13,910. 14,910. Yeah, we've made it. 15,160. Wow, you guys have literally reached passion overwhelming. Anyways, let's talk about Free Rocks Reaper. We'll go back to the cheerometer a little bit later on, guys, to update the fact that you've literally broken it. What am I meant to do? Do you guys just want to, like, double it up? Do you want me to go from this bottom? Like, how am I meant to think of more titles from Passion Overwhelm? Passion Overwhelm is meant to be the top, and now it's going to be the bottom. God damn it. Alright, Reaper's coming in, though, so this Free Rocks Reaper play is starting to kick off here. This time, BC doesn't get caught off guard. He doesn't lose any Reapers to the initial Zergling speed like he did on Frozen Temple. Some grenades going down there, just trying to actually even maybe cancel those eggs. That would have been painful, but eggs have a little bit too much armor on them, a little bit too much health, and they're not going to go down just yet. However, the lava will go down. Two of them getting picked away out there. That's a nice little pick off there by Beastyqt, and that does slow down what the Zerg player can build. We see those Queens taking damage and blasted in the skies, and Ravager's starting to morph in. It's a very standard defense from Elazer, getting the Roaches and the Ravagers up early. I'm just going to be seeing the Reapers continue to come on in. You'll continue to see what they can do. One Reaper does go down very quickly indeed. And actually, that's was that another one going down? Did it survive? It survived. Actually, look at that. Only 2 Zerglings killed for 2 Reapers now. It's actually a very good set of trades from Elazer. I feel as though Beasty just... Well, he's just overcommitting into a couple of fights here and there. Not necessarily kind of by huge amounts or anything, but just a couple of overcommitments. And, I mean, he did kill Lava. He's been forcing units as well. You've got to keep that in mind. But now, Elazer adds on 7 drones, and well, his economy's going to be looking pretty good right now. But, again, another thing you try and do with this Free Rocks Reaper player is just deny the 3rd hatchery. So we'll see how well he's able to do that over time, as we see the 3rd command center coming in at home. And there's that factory. Very similar follow-up here from Beastyqt as to what we saw on Frozen Temple back in game number 1. Grenades going down again. Another Reaper also getting caught off guard there. And those Reapers going to be pulling away over to the left-hand side now. So Reaper's going to pull away off to the left-hand side. And just going to keep on moving around to see what they can get up to. So Reaper's looking to see what they can get up to now. And we're just going to be seeing them still looking to just see what's going on. So Reapers keep on moving around. And we're just going to be seeing the Roaches and Ravagers just moving around as well. Nothing really much going on, just a little bit of positioning from units and players looking for opportunities. Well, Beasty looking for opportunities. Obviously, Elazer just looks to defend. Beasty just find an overload at the front here, so he picks that off nice and quickly. I mean, that's a little bit of a victory for him. No engineering base yet, so no upgrades. That's something Elazer will begin to take a lead in with his double evo coming down. He's also halfway done on his lair production. And I guess as well, the interesting thing to kind of continue with right now is going to be the question as to whether we're going to be having... you know, I think the question becomes, you know, here, what is this going to be kind of in the near future from Elazer as a composition? Is it going to be Roach Ravager? Is it just going to be Zerglings and stuff? You know, is it going to be Ling Bane? He sorted out melee upgrades. It could still be Ling Ravager, but he has just been playing more or less just Ling Bane up until now. So it really does look as though this could just be more of the same, as we see them Rippers being brought up towards this upper watchtower. So upper watchtower gets taken. 16 Zerglings being added on. And again, those melee upgrades continue to come in. 3 queens right now from Elazer being added on. So he's continuing to add queens into this. I mean, he's only on 3, I guess. So he only has enough to inject with right now. And I guess he wants some for creep spread. And I guess they're good for defense as well. Even later game, before they transfuses onto ultras, brute lords even. You know, they have a lot of different possibilities to become useful in. As we're going to be seeing the Lingers just going to be taking down those rocks. So Ling's getting rid of those rocks, and we are going to see a drone coming out here from Elazer. Going to be coming in and dropping down that 4th hatchery in just a moment or two. So 4th hatch does drop down. A couple of medevacs on the way up. A siege tank just over halfway done as well. Few Reapers just going to sit to the right side. A couple of medevacs moving forwards here from Beastyqt. And we are just going to be seeing here Beasty just again. Seeing what he can get up to. Seeing what's happening. Seeing if he can really kind of get some more damage done as we see these Zerglings going to run on in. Going to be seeing the medevacs there. Almost immediately just going to have to lift up and just pull away. So a little bit of damage looking to be done, but not really much achieved. As Elazer just sets up into 4 bases. Melee upgrades are about to finish here as well. Looking very, very good for him right now. Combat shields also building up on this tech lab over here. We're going to be seeing a barracks coming in. So extra racks, extra production. Look at the upgrade difference though. The engineering bay is so late from Beasty. He's starting up 1-1, only a few seconds ahead of his opponent's 2-2 starting. So again in this game it's going to be Elazer with a heavy upgrade lead. But this is kind of the situation Beasty was in initially in game number 1, and that's the game he looked very convincing in and, you know, won without much issue. So this is interesting. I like this tank up on the high ground. Very nice positioning. And actually, is there anything other than Zerglings here? Because if there isn't, this could be somewhat problematic. And we've seen these units starting to run forwards. These Zerglings looking to see what they can do. Tanks starting to fire. Marines start to step back again. Only Zerglings. I mean, they do have an upgrade lead, but there's only so much that only Zerglings can do. That tank's still firing away up on the high ground as well. I'm just going to be seeing there the Marines coming forwards. They're trying to get rid of that 4th base. It's so low. Still just fighting here. The Zerglings keep on rolling forwards. And, well, look at this. I mean, the tank is just adding so much damage. No real banes in this. No bane speed on the few banes that there are. And Beasty, well, if he reinforces this position, he could just keep getting so much done. And Beasty is just so good at using these positions as a Terran player. Using that high ground, for example. And, oh, he's going to commit onto the hatchery there. He gets the kill. And that is really nice. He'll get the siege tank out of there as well. Lifts up and away he goes, and Beasty looking very, very good now in game number 3. So it's going to be seeing those medevacs backing away right now. More units collecting together from Elazer. +2/+2 upgrades coming in from him as well. So +2/+2 upgrades coming in. Hive has started up, so he gets ready to go into his real late game setup now. So setting up into that Hive, going to be seeing Lings, Banes, Ravagers, Roaches. They are all joining up together. As you see, 3 tanks loading up, 4 tanks loading up back at home. Wow. This follow-up attack will probably just kill Elazer, I think, because he's going into Hive tech. He's trying to tech up, but he doesn't really have the safety that he needs to do this. And we've seen these units collecting together right now. 4 tanks, 4 medevacs, plenty of bio. And as long as he attacks before Ultras, which is of course going to be a long way away still, the Hive is still yet to finish, then an Ultra Cavern has to build, then the Kindness Plating has to start. It's a long way until Ultras are really viable in this game as kind of the big, beefy sort of units that you actually get scared of as a Terran player. So, there you go. Units just joining up together. We're just going to see a scanner coming down in towards the natural expansion. Actually, a couple of Liberators are going to fly in here and they'll start sieging up. But a few Ravagers are ready to hit. So, these Liberators have to be careful with where they decide to go. And they, of course, need to make sure they don't stay stacked up. Tanks on the high ground again, very similar position to before, just with more units now. Elazer has just got this 4th base up for himself. What can he do? A few Lings going to come in here to initially start trading. He's actually going to go to the high ground there. He'll get rid of those tanks pretty quickly. Marauders in the front to tank, and actually a lot of the Banes already going down. There's only 3 Banelings, 4, 5 maybe left, as we see a few coming in from the side as well. Marines will chain to fight this, and well, BC doesn't just shut this down. You know, it's not going to end the game, this push, but it definitely does good damage again. He actually still has Marines to push forwards with, so the damage he's done so far is just going to keep on adding up. Queens will fall here, and that is important. Queens are these units you want. You know, they keep the Ultras alive and more. Ultra Cavern is starting as we speak of Ultras here, but, I mean, Beasty again just seems to have way too much. Medevacs are going to be lifting up once again, and we're going to be seeing a couple more loading up. Beasty maybe even needs to just start rallying across the map, because with rallies, I think he'd probably just kind of end this game even faster, but playing it safe and just loading up kind of everything again, and again, a little bit of a drop to the sides. You'll get rid of a few Lings holding this watchtower right now. Get rid of some of the map control, which Elazer currently holds. So gets rid of some of that map control. And these units just going to come up the right-hand side here. Get rid of a couple of tumors. And Bioforces just keep pushing up this left-hand side as well. So now a push on either side of the map from Beasty. Widowmine is going to get a big connection there to begin with. What's that? What, 19 kills? Oh, man. Everything is going the way of Beasty right now. As the tank just going to siege up on the high ground. Bioforces moving forwards here and just seeing what he can do. A couple of creep tumors going down, and he's going to start pushing the 4th at the same time. He drops over towards the natural. 4th base goes down again, and Elazer really is just struggling today. Gonna see these Bioforces just cleaning up a little bit more. A couple of Ultras get cancelled down there on the low ground. And I mean, Beasty even just scans. He has a look to see, is this your only base? Am I really this far ahead? Realizes that he is. He has his own 4th base set up back at home. We haven't really looked back at the Terran base much at all, just because of the fact that we haven't really needed to. For a lot of this game, it's just been a situation where Beasty's just been attacking. Back at home, I don't think seen Elazer move across the map once this game. Ghost starting to come up, Liberators too. Beasty knows that Ultras can still come on the map here and still have a fairly decent impact to the game, so just begin to prepare against those. I'm just going to be seeing the Marines and Rose continue to clean up and do a bit more damage to the side, and now Beasty has extended his lead to 40 supply in this game. Really looking good in game number 3. Looking to take a lead here in this best of 5 series, 2-1 over Elazer. Looking to take that lead right now, as we see a few more units just going to collect up over to the left-hand side. So a few more units just going to collect up together over here. A few wouldn't mind starting to come in from Beastyqt, joined up with this army with Ghosts joined together as well, and those Liberators are going to sit up in the skies. Spire is building right now from Elazer, so Spire is building, Bioforce is starting to push out, and these Liberators are going to be setting up as well. So Liberators starting to set on up, and then going to start moving in towards that 4th base in a moment or two. Scan comes down, a couple of creep tumors coming in as well. Widowmine will go off, and I mean, a few Ravagers going down initially. A few Lings will come in from the back, but the Widowmine will get rid of a lot of those. Although the Ultra will make it through. The Ghost unable to snipe there for a few moments. Now the snipes start to come through. Is there enough Ghosts to kind of fight these Ultralisks? And more snipes coming down. We see the Ultras are starting to fall pretty quickly. A few Lings from the back. There's a couple of Ultras left, and BC has to kite away. He's going to have a few more Medivacs coming in here in a moment or two. He's actually been missing those in the fight, so his army hasn't been being healed. As we're just going to be seeing the Biounits just coming back down towards the bottom left-hand side. So we're going to see a couple of Ultras just going to be coming up towards the upper right again. And then just going to be seeing Spire coming into play from Elazer. Spire comes into play from Elazer. I'm just going to be seeing Creep continue to push out onto the map from him as well. So Creep going to continue pushing out onto the map. I'm just going to be seeing Elazer continue to set up, and I mean, he's just trying to kind of stay alive right now. I'm just going to be seeing the scans coming around the map here, looking to see what's going on, looking to see what's happening. You see a big Bioforce from Beastyqt is going to come over to the left-hand side, so big Bioforce coming over to the left. Some Zerglings pull away pretty quickly. We see a scan coming down. And we do see them Creep Tumors taking some damage. I mean, Beasty's just playing it slow, playing it safe. There's the Ghost coming in, he scans. That's going to be a few Ultras going down there immediately. Another couple of Snipes will come down as well. And, ooh, nice transfuses will keep the Ultras alive this time around. Just Ghost with a little bit of energy left. Not a lot, but still enough to kind of be a fighting force here for a little while longer. Another couple of Snipes. Queens are sort of out of energy now as well, so they can't really transfuse up any longer either. As Beasty just pulling a couple of Liberators forward. He's got so many bases. Beasty's been alive for a lot of this game. It's just closing the game down or shutting it down. And it's just taking a little while longer than usual. I'm just going to see those units join up together well from Beasty. So just join together up on the high ground. Lings, Banes, and a few Ultras getting ready to come up here as well. Widowmine will burrow towards the front. We'll see a couple of Liberators are going to come around the side. So a couple of Liberators are going to come around the side. They're going to siege up now on this half tree to the right, as we see a little bit of Bio pushing forwards once again. Going to be getting rid of this hatchery in a moment too. There's that Nuke trying to come down, but the Ghost that it was on goes down. However, the Snipes come down. Actually, no, the Ghost is still alive. It's actually up on the high ground. Well, this base is going to die anyways. We will see the Nuke falling. Nuke will fall. Hatch will fall, go down. And we're just going to be seeing more damage being done. We actually see these Ultras across the map trying to get a little bit more done as well, coming in here. And they will actually clean out this bottom side base from BC. A couple of Ghosts coming in though, and there's the first set of Snipes. One Ultra falls, and it begins to clean this up, and still Elazer is just not really getting enough done to kind of come back from the deficit he's in already. We're going to see, well, here comes some Banelings. He needs some really good Bane connectors right now to make up for how this game has gone up until this point. One Baneling does connect is pretty good, and Ultra just gets sniped down though, and again, it's just going to be Ling Bane, and now some Queens left over. The Bio should be able to fight this. Pew pew pew, says Elazer. I think trying to imitate a Ghost right there as he taps out. Plenty of games coming up, guys, over the next few days here on the stream, so make sure you hit that follow button so you know when we're live in the future. My favorite thing to say, I think that's probably one of my biggest catchphrases here on the stream. Pretty dull catchphrase, really. Anyways, let's go into Frost Cross Spawns. Man, These maps just keep on wanting us to play long games with ghosts and libs and all sorts. To the top left-hand side, it's our yellow Zerg player from True Esports. Let's hear it if you're going to be cheering on. A little bit of a comeback and hoping for a 5th game. Elazer to the upper left. And down to the bottom right-hand side, our teal Terran player is going to be Beastyqt. Up 2-1 right now. Let's see if he can win this out and take us into our winner bracket. Or winner bracket final game, I guess, in this group. Winner's match to see who our first player in the quarterfinals is going to be. Not many Terran players in the Wardi Open, 4 in total, 2 of them in this group. It would be great to have already one of them confirmed to move on through, but at the same time, it would also be nice maybe to see Elazer doing well as well, and having some Zerg. We actually have a lot of Zergs in the cup. Nurtio, Violet, a lot of strong Zergs too. Nurtio, Violet, Guru, Snoot. It's pretty crazy. So, I kind of want to see a Terran get through this group, at least one of them. But I'd like to see Elazer in the round of 8 as well, so... Anyways, let's talk about what's going on here. We see the 3 racks opening. 3 racks Reaper once again. This is something we've been seeing players starting to do a little bit more frequently on Frost. So we've been seeing this a little bit more frequently recently. Intrigued to see how it works out. And Crossbone's obviously not the best for it because it takes a little bit longer to hit. So let's see how it goes with Beastyqt doing this. Did I move my desk? Yes, guys, I rotated my desk. So the wall you usually see, if you're familiar with my stream, you usually know I'm sitting next to a wall. I'm now facing that wall with my desk. It means I actually lost like the side of my desk. My desk's a bit smaller now, but it feels bigger because I used to sit in like a kind of the corner of like an L shape of the desk, but now I'm sitting in the middle of my kind of the main part of the desk. So it actually feels even bigger because I've got more more room to either side of me. I've got my keyboard and mouse like in the center of my desk as well. I got my monitor in the middle of my desk. It's not it's crazy. Like, it's actually just such a better setup. I don't know why I didn't move this like a year ago. I really don't. Anyways, we see Reapers starting to pop out here. 3 racks Reaper. As we say, the first Reaper going to move out and see what it can get up to. Sorry, second Reaper. First Reaper has already been looking to see where his opponent is. And it's starting to move in towards the upper left. New catchphrase for you. I'm Wardi. Said like Batman. I don't think I can say it like Batman though. That's my problem. I just don't think I have that sort of... I just don't think I have it in me to kind of pull that off. What other catchphrases could I have? You guys think of some. That's your job for this next game as we kick off into this 4th game now. The action really starting to heat up as Reapers arrive. And well, Elazer not gonna... This guy, this is actually the first time we've seen a 3x Reaper against a hatch gas pool. Because up until now, we've just been seeing kind of gas pool play and kind of, countering the 3x Reaper kind of blindly. So, Beasty still actually loses a Reaper here early. Is going to start working his way through this 3rd hatch. I mean, Elazer put this down because he didn't know it was going to be 3x Reaper. So, I wonder if he cancels it or whether he's just going to keep it here. I wonder if he feels he can defend it. I think he should just cancel because I don't think we generally see the 3x Reaper having much hope of surviving. Let's see what happens. We're going to see some Zerglings going to actually start moving across the map. See what they can do. If they can pick off a couple of reinforcements, this would of course be very nice for me, Elazer here. This comes on down to the south, takes that watchtower. We'll move on down to the bottom right once again. A couple of command centers building. Same build as previously from Beastyqt, going into the double command center follow-up rather than going up to 5 racks, which we see sometimes. Lincoln on the watchtower going to come in and try to engage. They get one Reaper surrounded. Grenade not going to save him there. Another Reaper very nearly being surrounded, but does manage to slip away. Obviously set himself up and oiled himself up there before he went out on the map. I'm just going to be seeing the wings coming in. Maybe it was some oil leaking out of his jetpack. Probably not safe. But hey, allowed him to sneak away as these Zerglings actually now, they need some oil or something to get themselves to slide past these Reapers. Not going to happen though. Good trade from Beasty. He picks off all of those Zerglings. However, it does keep this 3rd hatch alive, and in a way, I mean, Elazer now takes a forward position with these Queens, which will help him out defensively. I like this as well. More Zerglings to kind of keep on distracting. So, more Zerglings going to go across to keep on distracting here and see what else they can get up to. Just seeing what he can get up to. Lots of cheers coming in the chat actually from Beasty when we did the introductions. Infinite Pokey and A Troll Mao. That's a confusing name to say. With some Beasty cheers. Some of you guys are cheers as well though. As you see these Zerglings hitting the counter attack. Comes in nicely as the SCVs come down to the low ground. 2 workers killed. Well, working and real, and we see a few more SCVs as well. Reapers across the map do start finding themselves cornered in by the Queens and Roaches in this forward position. They do pick off 4 drones though. So, let's see what they can do. I mean, his hatchery getting lower. There is transfuses available, but it will force Elazer into a fight, which I think is the important thing about this. As, yeah, the CC on the natural is currently not mining from Beastyqt, so that's problematic for him. So he just sat up in the sky. Reaper's going to come around the left-hand side here and back down towards the bottom right, perhaps. I'm just going to be continuing to see what else will be happening. So Reaper's just going to loop around. I see those Zerglings again with the counterattack. Finally going to pull away, but not in time to get away from the Reapers. Splitting up to kind of help themselves, and a few of them do escape, but again, not too many at all. So not much there. We see Elazer now into his double evolution chamber. Stim is on the way from Beastyqt again, going into a very standard sort of bio-based follow-up in this game, similar to what we've sort of seen previously from him in the 3-arc super playstyles. A few rocks on the low ground getting taken out, and again, Reaper's just coming across here to have a little bit of a look to see what is going on. So a few Reapers coming across right now, going to try and clean up a couple of tumors to begin with, which is nice. And then a couple of grenades going down just to repel those roaches. Ravage may have been trying to connect with this creep tumor, but he didn't throw a lot down, so I'm also looking as though he's just trying to get rid of the roaches, and Ravages will come forwards again to cancel the creep, and he is expected coming forward himself to greet this with his army. Gets rid of one Reaper right from the get-go. Queen's in a little bit of trouble though. One gets blown up. A couple of Zerglings go down as well as they move just a bit too far forwards. And again, Beastyqt just doing a good job of kind of keeping the map and, you know, just kind of stopping Elazer or slowing him down from pushing onto the map as much as possible. +1/+1 melee upgrades on the way. Again, we do see Beastyqt will be behind on upgrades, something we've seen him throughout the series kind of dealing with. It hasn't really become too much of an issue for him throughout the series. He's been more or less able to kind of work with it. You know, he's been like, okay, this is fine. This works for me. Reaper's going to back away from the roaches and the Ravages to the top watchtower. I'm just going to be seeing those medevacs from Beastyqt just going to pull around over to the left-hand side. So those couple of medevacs going to pull around to the left-hand side here. Bane Nest is coming down as well from Elazer. And we'll just be seeing Lings coming down too, looking to see what else he can get up to. A couple of medevacs will jump on up then instead towards the northern side and try and get in here, but Queen going to push those medevacs away. And the Marine's going to unload again and just going to be seeing what else he can get up to. We see the Marine's going to stim here right now, and the Zergling's going to take a little bit more damage. So Ling's taking a bit more damage there, and a few of them pulling back. So basically doing a little bit of damage, and again, just moving around the map. This is what he wants to do, you know, play with drops and play with kind of, you know, engagements which are going to be favorable for him despite the lack of upgrades, and that allows him to set up into a good position for later in the game because he trades well in these early stages, and that really does show in the later stages as well when he really is at an advantage. You see the Reapers actually over here to the right hand side, grenading their way through those roaches. Eventually they do have to pull away, but again, a few grenades going down, some damage done. And you just see a few Marines going to unload here to the left hand side. So a few Marines going to unload, and there's a couple of medevacs going to be moving up the right-hand side too. So there's damage being done around the map. And again, it's Beastyqt who really is in control of the map. We again see Elazer with a lack of anything really going on outside of his 4 bases in the upper left corners. Nice scan, actually using the Reapers to get rid of some recruit spread now as well. And again, it's just Beastyqt maintaining map control, making it difficult for Elazer to set up into a super good position for the later stages of this game. Again, Elazer going to opt for that Ling Bane based playstyle. Obviously, a few Roaches and Ravages are out from earlier defense against the Reapers, but mostly, I mean, melee upgrades, Bane and Nest on the way up, and Bane and speed building. He's in a position where he's just going to keep on going with kind of Ling Bane commitment. This run by could be nice. Actually, Beastyqt doesn't have anything in position just yet. To see a double drop to the top side, though, is also maybe going to be problematic for Elazer's base. Beastyqt pulls away over here. His drop to the left side is going to lift up, so there's a few units there. He's still fighting into the 4th base. Reaper grenades are going to be important once again, as actually Ling's taking a lot of damage on the way in. Widowmine kind of goes off actually more so onto Marines than anything else. And he just pull away. 9 Wakers lost to the 3. This was a good little counterattack from Elazer, finally getting something done on his opponent's side for what feels like the first time in multiple maps now. You see these Marines stimming forwards, they actually pick up the Queen there, and again, just a couple of lanes. This is what Beastyqt's so good at. Again, as soon as Elazer is sort of distracted elsewhere, he comes into the left side. Widowmine picks up a lot of kills, another 19 kill Widowmine. That's the second time today we've seen the Widowmine up to 19 kills. A few units joining up together to the top side from Beastyqt. Widowmine's getting cleaned out, and we are just going to see those Reapers and Marines looking for an opportunity. Difficult when the Roaches and Ravagers are in position, but maybe they can still just trade a bit and lift up and back away again. It's just Beastyqt utilizing his APM right now, which he has sort of spared to some extent. Cleans out the Lings, and, well, he's actually going to keep on pushing forwards. He keeps on trading this. May have just outstayed his welcome to some extent. Now he boosts into the main and just keeps Elazer moving on around. And again, Elazer, he starts up the Ultra Cavern, so late game is setting up for him. And this is where we see Beastyqt getting very comfortable with, I mean, obviously probably a Ghost Academy, Liberator production, and more. Lifting up once again with those couple of medevacs. Queen's still moving around as well. Creep spread pushing out all over the map here. You can see those Marines unloading once again. Going to keep on fighting. We're going to be seeing those Lings coming in once more. We see the Medevac going to lift up a few of those units and unload in again. We're seeing the Reaper having a little bit more of a look to see what else he can get done here. Ultras Cavern will finish shortly. Spire will come on down. And we're just going to be seeing a couple of drones being picked off right now. So a couple of drones getting picked off. +2/+2 upgrades from Beastyqt are continuing to come on in here. So +2/+2 upgrades continue to roll on in. And we are just going to be seeing him again with another drop of units out on the map. Looking to keep on the pressure. Push back some of the creep spread. However, I think Elazer's done a much better job of still sort of setting up this game. As he hits the Ultras Cavern, he will pop out 5 Ultras, kind of split it and starts up. We see the Adrenal Glands is coming up to completion very shortly as well. I'm just going to be seeing this hatchery to the top right hand side starting to be established. Actually moving out of the 4 bases can be one of the more difficult things to do on Frost. And so, getting that set up now, Beasty doesn't start dropping that location. If you can get some man in there, that would be great for him. It's difficult just because the 4 bases initially are kind of tucked away, kind of in your own kind of quarter of the map. To break into another quarter can become very difficult to start dealing with drops, etc. Red Reminds here just going to be trying to push back wherever possible and help out. Another little bit of a run by coming across here. Wouldn't might as well burrow. Where's Beasty's forces? He has a bunker over here this time around on the 3rd base, but actually not going to be able to repair it as the Lings do get the surround of that. Marauders coming forwards here to help out. A few workers going down, not too many though, and Beasty for the most part turns this away without too much of an issue. Where's Beasty's army though? I mean, it seems very non-existent right now. It must be somewhere. I mean, I know he's been kind of having drops all around the map, but he has to have more units than this. He actually only has 10 Marauders and 13 Marines. It's not a lot right now, although here we go. Zerglin's moving forwards again. His army kind of collecting together does look a bit larger at this point, but it's Elazer. He really does look as though he's going to be getting aggressive here very soon. You're going to see the Ultras getting picked off there. We're going to see these Zerglings moving forwards once again. The Ultras going to be seeing what he wants to get up to. We're going to see the Wooden Mine going off. We're just going to be seeing the Marines and Marauders just going to be kind of coming in once again here. So Marines and Marauders coming forwards and just continuing to pick away at these Ultras. So picking away at the Ultras, nice little contaminated stop of Ghosts or so coming out. I mean, BC keeps on training, but it's Elazer who's really making progress. The 4th base as well is actually going to get killed off. So Elazer is making a lot of progress right now and on these much larger maps. So, such as kind of Gettysburg we saw on map number 2 and now Frost. Elazer just seems to be kind of getting to a position where he is able to kind of take the fights and is able to get into these Ultras and trade with them and do something with them and put himself into good positions. When we hit the late game, Beastyqt is moving around with these Marines. Before a single snipe comes down, he's still trying to clean up the Ultras. He will eventually, but look how much is in the 3rd base. And there's going to be a lot of SCVs over here that are going down, and that's going to be GG called by Beast. Going to game number 5 then. Beastyqt and Elazer, 2 games apiece. One of them will move into the winners match where they will play alive. So let's kick this off. Down to the bottom right hand side. For the final time in this series, it's our yellow Zerg player, Elazer. And to the top left, Proxy and a barracks out on the map already. Intrigued to see what comes of this. Our red Terran player is Beastyqt. Again, guys, as we kick off into this game, I'd like to remind you all, if you are enjoying the stream today, you can hit that follow button. See when we go live again in the future. And of course, if you're really enjoying the stream, do not be afraid to hit that subscribe button as well. Support the stream. We hit 100 subs yesterday, and yeah, hit 100 subs yesterday. It was good, and we're going to keep on going. We're going to make a new sub goal. Let me know what you guys think the new sub goal should be. Give us a reward to kind of get at the end of it or something. Give me some ideas, and we'll get that set up too. Of course, there's other ways to support the stream as well. They're listed below the channel, generally donations, Patreon page, and cheers, so you can check all of those out if you would like to. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We're approaching 1,500 viewers now for this first round 16 group of the Wardi Open, and that is just really beyond expectations. I mean, the qualifiers blew me away already. Oh my god, does he not see it? Oh, he just glimpses it here. Elazer gets the scout. Yeah, the qualifier viewership already blew me away, but great to see so many of you here for the round of 16 as well. It wasn't just a fluke day or anything. Like, you guys genuinely seem to love this tournament, so thank you so much for joining us. As you're going to be seeing this Reaper popping up from Beastyqt, having a look to see what he can get done. Grenade goes down initially, and he will pick off a drone there. And continue to get a little bit more damage done right now too, so damage being done here. Zerglin's going to be pushing this away. I mean, it is just this proxy Reaper into actually a Marine or 2 building. So he can actually come in and kill this Overlord, which would be pretty nice for him. Maybe he waits for 2 Marines to catch it off guard to make sure he's going to get the kill. Bunkel coming out at home, he knows he'll have to have something to defend with. And the factory, where's the factory building? I can't see it. Okay, right in the back of the main base. So factory all the way in the back here. Maybe to some extent, Beastyqt just hoping for an overreaction of the Zerg player. And I wonder if he plays mech from this, because he is opening with that kind of double, you know, with the Rax proxy. It means he won't produce Marines for a while. There's a possibility, as we see this Overlord will just go down. I mean, it'll go down because it's actually right out in the open now, so it's not going to get away. And this Overlord will fall. So Overlord's going to go down here. The third hatchery is building from Elazer as well. And we're just going to be seeing this Overlord continue to move around in the main base. Factory is going to be finishing up a tech lab in a moment or two. Starport is coming up to being about halfway done as well. And, oh, double Starport. So maybe not quite mech, but something similar. That Sky Terran playstyle is going to start coming up here over the next few minutes. So setting up into some Sky Terran play. And we'll be seeing how this continues. We see some Zerglings going to keep coming across the map too. They're going to run in, but there's a bunker up. They shouldn't get too much done. Maybe they'll jump in there as well. And okay, they'll surround the bunker. Does this really do a lot of damage? I mean, it's getting kind of close to going down, but SCV's repairing it. It will fall. But there's no real follow-up right from Elazer. He didn't make any more Zerglings, so he doesn't actually kill any of the units there. Just kills a bunker, and those SCVs actually need to start going back home. There we go. They are going to turn around right now and get to mining once again. It's going to be seeing these SCVs going in towards that natural expansion, and we do just have the Zergling going to come over, take the watchtower to the left-hand side. So we're laying on a couple of different, well, watchtowers, etc. right now, just taking some map control, then pulling away. Actually, he's not too interested in keeping this. I was going to see that Reaper from Beastyqt is going to find, well, go onto the map and try and find something else to do. A couple of Banshees on the way up, so 2-port Banshee. Maybe it is, I mean, Beastyqt likes to play kind of different styles sometimes, and I wonder if we're going to see if he will still commit to the Sky Terran and adds on the third starport, or if he's got to kind of transition out of this, which isn't going to be kind of starport related, I guess. I think it will be though. Tech Rax can go in the main base, build a tech lab. Well, it's hard to tell right now. It still could just be like extra Rax and a bio follow-up. That's still a possibility here, so we'll see how this goes. A Reaper across the map against a few Queens isn't going to do too much. Just try and check around the third base and have a little bit of a look to see what is going on. We'll hop up into the main base as well. Zergling's coming in here and continue to see what it can do as the Reaper comes in and actually just pops up those drones into the sky and just blasts them around a little bit. So drones getting blasted into the sky right now. This Zergling is going to be coming in and just taking a little bit of damage from that bunker. Single engineering bay, double engineering bay, and stim as well. Okay, so there's the confirmation. This is going to be something other than a Sky Terran play. He's just going to be playing for barracks, for kind of a double starboard Banshee harassment initially, and then a barracks follow-up. So bio-based follow-up here. The thing is, from Elazer, he has no scouting of this. He has no overlord, which is begun to check the main base or anything. So he doesn't have. He has spores initially here. Well, he has a spore on the third base, on the natural, sorry, but not on the main, on the main or the third. So he definitely doesn't expect this at all. The spore here. This is really just to say, like, you know what? I feel as though you might be kind of, you know, going for kind of like a drop or something. So I'm going to kind of spore that location to shut down medevacs. As we're going to be seeing SCVs. Just clean up those links. 3 workers killed, but I get the feeling we'll be seeing a lot more damage done by these Banshees, which are moving across the map. Cloaked up already to avoid any mini-map kind of sightings, which is great. And if he goes towards the third base, that'd be the best start for him. He scans. He'll see the spores building over there. I mean, the lair's not far away, actually, so actually maybe the Queens are the better pick off here. Transfuse keeps it alive for now, the first Queen at least. And now he's just going to pick away at a couple of drones. So not much damage done just yet out of Beastyqt. Pulling away a little bit now as we see drones being picked away at there. 3 workers killed. Banshee's going to come back in towards the main base. And just see those Banshees again, looking to see what they can get up to. So he's going to be picking away at just a few more drones right now and just trying to get a little bit more damage done. So there's going to be getting a little bit more damage done here. Spawning pool going to be taking a bit of damage also, continuing to fall. And actually the pool might go down, which would be no link production, which might just hurt. We actually see immediately he leaves a sort of roach run. I wonder if he expects this to be Sky Terran commitment, because if he does, then going into the roach run makes sense, because then he'll actually have units to kind of fight against the incoming Hellbats, etc., which he's expecting. As he comes up, you'll see more Marines, and he sees the engineering bay researching, and that should be the information he needs to realize that this isn't Sky Terran. And that he's okay to keep on making melee upgrades, because this is just going to be going into a bio-based game once again. Banshee's still just sat overhead here. As you see, those Zerglings going to be coming down towards the bottom side of the map. So Bling's going to be coming down towards the south side, taking a little bit of damage on their way, however. Queen's going to pop down a few creep tumors and just set up here as well. These Marines moving around. I love the Spire this time around. This is the first time we've seen Elazer in this series build like an earlier Spire in this game, in the series. So it's different, you know. He's looking to go into Corruptors or Mutas much earlier on. I was going to see +1/+1 melee, missile melee. Talking Zerg here. No, Terran upgrades. So +1/+1 upgrades coming in from Beastyqt there. About to finish up this time as well. It's actually the first game in a long time we've not seen Beastyqt not really being behind in the upgrade count. So, not really behind the upgrade count. Single Marine working its way through the Overlord right now. It's going to be seeing these Zerglings going to be getting cleaned up here as well. So Zerglings getting cleaned up. I'm just going to be seeing the Banshees are going to be continuing to move around as well. So Banshees still moving around and seeing what else they can get done. How many Banshees did he lose earlier? 2? So he made another one Banshee or something just to kind of back it up and to maybe be defensive at home. Now I can move on the map and try and clear Crypt, etc. Just look for openings, look for opportunities. But one Banshee goes down very quickly. And those Queens in high enough numbers, well, they're pretty good anti-air. Let's say that at least. As you see the big push though coming across from Beastyqt. Remember guys, this is game 5 of the second match of the day today. The winner of this plays alive in the winner bracket match. And the loser will play soccer in the losers bracket match to continue in the group. As we see, I'm not sure how well this push is going to go from BC. There's no Bane speed just yet for Elazer. But BC's already kind of very oversimmed going into this. He has a couple of Widow Mines. But look at this, I mean the Medivacs are falling currently to Queens, and well, Elazer just feels as though he can fight this, or at least come in and try to engage. Splits away, Widow Mine doesn't do too much. A couple of Banes from the right side, they get taken down pretty quickly. Another Widow Mine as well, and it's such a mix of sort of like success and not success kind of attack from both players. It's kind of hard to tell which way it really is starting to kind of favor. So anyways, 2 upgrades are coming in right now from Elazer. Centrifugal Hooks is coming in as well, about 10 seconds away from completion. So +2 melee upgrades, Centrifugal Hooks, and that's something which Beastyqt will be heading into as well, of course. The 2 upgrades, that is, would be pretty broken if Terran could build. Well, it wouldn't be that broken. I mean, if you could build Banelin speed, wouldn't really help because you don't have any Banelins. Imagine Terran did have Banelins. Wow. That'd be really broken. Terran has Banelins and Marines. That'd be incredible. Anyways, we see the Mutas coming in again. It's the first time we've really seen Mutas in this series. The Spire play in previous games has been for Corruptors, and it's generally, again, been more kind of later in the game. As the Mutas are going to come in, they are going to shut down that Medivac in a moment or two, so, or try to at least, but actually gets distracted by the drop into the main. And guess what? That spawn pool will now go down. The Bane Nest has gone down. And is the Spire going to go down as well? He's going to keep on fighting here, starts to target the Spire. Wow, what a set of kills from Beastyqt, picking off pretty much every single production structure from the Zerg player. And just as the Zerg was starting to gain some momentum, now he can't build anything else. However, maybe he already has enough up to go across the map and counterattack with, because Beasty has thrown a lot of units away in the last few moments, and so a counterattack could be very, very deadly here. Liberators are joining up in the skies, Marines and Marauders joining up on the ground, getting his setup ready to go. Lings, Banes, Mutas coming across, and okay, he hasn't been able to build anything for a little while, but that doesn't matter if you already had the bigger army. Muta's going to come in, already some SCVs starting to fall, so this is a good start from Elazer. As you see, the Liberators coming in, trying to push those Mutalists away. The Ling is going to come in, start to wrap around those Marauders. Balins keep moving forwards as well, crashing on into this here. Going to be seeing them even actually in towards the natural mineral line as well. Also to the third base, a lot of Balins. Beastyqt pulls away. Elazer starts to target those Balins. 17 workers have gone down so far. And SCVs will start to fall as well as these Balins keep on coming in. They do begin to connect. 36 workers killed. Wow. Well, that really has been just a few kaboom moments in this. We're going to be seeing a few more Zerglings getting cleaned out. A couple of Marines up on the high ground, doing a little bit down to this evolution chamber. Queen coming across will be transfused up here. Muta's coming in and we'll clean up a few more of those Marines. And we're just going to be seeing these Liberators just going to keep on cleaning up these Overlords here. So a couple more Overlords getting cleaned on up. And again, units collecting together right now from Elazer. So units collecting together, we see the +3 weapon attack upgrade coming in. Going to be seeing the Hive starting up from Elazer 2 again, ready to go into this late game, but look at the position he's in right now. 191 supply to the 80, oh, to the 90, I guess. But it's just such a lead. How does Beastyqt ever really come back from this? I don't actually think he does. Liberator is pulling back a little bit now and just getting back a little bit. We'll see the Queen targeting those down. Marines and Marauders simming forwards as, I mean, Elazer just looks for a fight here in a moment or two, I'm almost certain of it. I mean, there just isn't that much at all. It's going to split up, maybe going from the left and the bottom, and well, we're not even going to see the fight. Beastyqt is just going to tap out of the game, and Elazer